Hey, everybody. Welcome in. I thought I'd jump on here just a little bit early, get an early start, and see what everybody is doing today. My microphone fell over. It seems like no matter how prepared I am to do things, there's always something that happens. It just drives me crazy. So, yeah, I'll wait for a couple of friends to come in and we'll get to talking. I'm going to kind of be talking about some preparedness. I'm going to talk about just a lot of random different things today just to see where everybody is. Hey, Butler Family Farm, welcome in. Hey, did you get my email by chance? And I want to thank you for everything. I'm good. How are you today? It's been an overcast day. There's still some humidity in the air here in Virginia, but I am enjoying the cooler temps. No, you didn't get my email. Okay. I'm going to have to try and here, do me a favor, would you? I'm going to put this up. Can you jot that down and email me, because I had paired you up with somebody. I know you did. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. But thank you so much. But I did. I paired you up with, because I had to rearrange some things. Indiana Backyard Gardener. And you two were going to swap. So if you want, I can email you both again, or yeah, let me know. So there's my email. So if you want to email me, I can connect the two of you, unless you want to connect with her. I'll let that be up to you. Hey, Susan. Hey, Shelby. Welcome in. Let's get all our friends in here. Look at you. How sweet. I know. I was hoping your Nana would join me, but not today. I know that she is busy. Oh, you're awesome. Are you ready for somebody new, or shall you just give it a break until next week? Hey, Susan, come on in. I know you did. Oh, thank you so much. Hey, Alfonso, welcome in. So far, it is a blessed day. It's always a blessed day when you wake, right? And you find something to do and be productive. Oh, you are amazing. Do you want to take a break this week? So I'm going to be kind of talking in code. So every Monday, I'm going to send out a new email and rotate everybody, if that works for you. And then you'll have a new person for next week. Some people go through it a lot faster. That's awesome. That's really great to know. You guys work through that really fast. Now you can just kind of relax and, get through your week. Hey, Cool Gamer 2, welcome in. Good to see you. Hey, Jaden. Good to see you. Welcome in. Alfonso's, hold on a second, Alfonso. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I can do that. Well, give me a second. I don't know. What are you looking for, Jaden? Do you have access to the printing in your area? I'm looking for someone to do some tactile prints. That's a really good question. I'm not sure. I know there's a couple of printing companies, but I don't know what they do. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. So I'm gonna thank you everybody for being here. You're so kind. Thank you. Susan, if you're still out there, I got to catch bits and pieces of the live today that you did, and I did enjoy it. I wanted to come up on stage so bad, but my time didn't allow me to, with having to run my student to an appointment in that. So I was not able to um, get on there. So I do apologize. But it sounded like you had a great time. You had the music going. Everything worked out really great. The questions were all great. Yeah. So, Alfonso, if you may want to check in your area, um, and ask, like, maybe, do you have a UPS store in your area or something? Maybe you can check with them, and maybe they can refer you to somebody that may help you. So yeah. So today I am just my heart's been a little bit heavy the past few days for a lot of different reasons. And usually I know I'm really upbeat type of person. We have jokes on here. I haven't done any jokes in a while, and I should do that, right? I haven't done one in a while. Maybe I'll do that. Hey, Karen, how are you? Hey, Teletreasures, welcome in. Shelby's here. Teletreasure, Shelby's here. So let me do this. I know I've probably said this before, but if you're new, this is a good one. Hugs to you, Miss Shelby. Love you, sweetie. Hey, Heather, how are you? Why can't Monday lift Sunday? Because it's a weekday. Get it? Week, like in week. No muscles, just weekday, but weekday. Isn't that funny? I'm going through my old ones just to kind of throw jokes out there to kind of liven it up just a little bit. Yeah, so I have been, see, thanks, Karen, for laughing at that silly joke. I appreciate that. Let me see. Nope, those are questions. I don't know about you. How many here have been participating in the Every Bit Counts challenge? I have, and I just got done filming day 6 or day 7. I've been trying to literally post a video or do a video and preserve something every single day of this month. And if I do that, that will be a milestone for me, because it's the first time I've done it every single day. Like, I've participated, but not like the full month, just like here and there as I've done things. But I'm finding myself pulling out. Oh, good, Heather. I'm finding myself pulling out stuff from my freezer from last year, and I'm preserving it and putting it on the shelves now. It's Jessica over at Three Rivers Homestead. She hosts this every single year. It's an open collaboration, hashtag Every Bit Counts challenge, and it's just a lot of fun. And it really, for me personally, it challenges me. It helps me get disciplined, right? Because you want to hold yourself accountable to your audience, right? And it helps you kind of get creative too, and think outside of your normal realm of what are you going to do, how are you going to preserve, and what is it that you're going to preserve. Oh, that's okay, no worries. So the other day I had pulled out, and I did a video. It's the jalapeno hot sauce. I had tomatillos, and I had some jalapenos. I had some poblanos, and I had some, they're the small red peppers. Help me out here. What are they called? They're usually hot. What are those little red peppers called? So anyhow, it doesn't matter. And I thought, what am I going to do with this? I need to get them out of my freezer. And I ended up making a really good tomatillo jalapeno hot sauce. And I canned it up, and it took no time at all. It was like throwing everything into the pot with an onion and all that, and just getting to where everything was really soft. And then I stuck it in my blender, pureed everything up, and then strained it. Well, no, not cherry pepper, habaneros. No, are they habaneros? I forget the name of them. I don't know why. Anyhow, so the pulp and everything that, and my new video is coming out tomorrow on this. I actually ended up dehydrating it and turned it into a powder. And I'll show you that process. I don't want to talk anymore about it. That's my video coming out tomorrow. And I've done it. I've done it with other things. Like when I did grape jam, and I think, yeah, grape jam, I used the remaining grapes, that when you put through and it's just like the guts and the pulp and everything left over. I actually dehydrated that and made it into a powder. So I have a great powder that now I can use in frostings, and I talk about that as well. You can even put it in a cake mix to maybe like a white cake mix and just sprinkle some in there to kind of change up the flavor and give it a little hint of a grape flavor and maybe a little lavender look when you cut it inside, but you can definitely add it to your frosting as well. And that's one of the things I love about doing this challenge is that it truly does challenge me creatively in the kitchen, where I truly find my passion at and where I'm most comfortable at. I love being outside. I love gardening, but my true passion comes in the kitchen to see what can I do? How can I create a meal? And, on a budget, 1, 2, on maybe with just a little ingredients, right? So anyhow, so back to what I was saying. I was looking for these jokes that I had told a while ago. Maybe you'll remember, maybe you will not. But if you have any questions, please make sure you ask in there. Can you give it a thumbs like, please, and share this out on your community tab, because that really does help my channel a lot. And I'm really excited. Guys. I'm like 97 subs away from like my 1K. I don't know. It just all of a sudden, boom. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I'm going to do a 1K party. We're going to do a 1K party is what we're going to do. So help me out, would you? Let's get there. I'm still working on watch hours, but I'll get there. I still have, what is this? August, September, October, November. I'd like to get there in 3 months if possible. So yeah. So anyhow, yeah. So anyhow, what I was going to say was that one of the things, and my husband watches the stock market, and we put some, not a lot, just small little things. Hey, Echo, welcome in. Thank you so much for sharing me out, Echo. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. One of the things that has just come on my heart was just the things that I'm seeing, the things that I'm truly seeing in our country. And I'm really struggling with it. It doesn't surprise me, like where we're at in our country. I just don't, I'm not shocked by it, right? But how many of those people who are just now seeing and realizing things in what's going on that haven't been prepared and haven't been preparing? Thank you, Tell Us Treasure. And it is, and it weighs heavy on my heart at times. And there's times where like I don't sleep, or I have a hard time sleeping, or I get woken up in the middle of the night, whatever the case is. I just, as my audience out there, and maybe you're not one who does homesteading, or maybe you live at home, whatever the case is. Are you prepared? Do you have enough food to get you through? Do you have water? Do you have first aid? Do you have enough cash in your home? These are the things like I think of, like, my husband even told me the other day that our one pantry that I have extra stuff put in is getting low, because he's been getting into it, to be honest with you, but that's okay. And And I realized that, I need to kind of get back to doing a couple of things for sure about making sure I'm replenishing things in my pantry that I am using. And it can be done very easily. My son's dog just keeps running up and down the stairs. So I do apologize if you hear him running up and down the stairs. He's very excited. So, right. And I'm not just talking. So I want to point out Echo had just made this. Yeah, I know, Heather. And that's the thing, right? A lot of people just don't know. They don't want to know. They don't care. I don't know. But Echo makes a really good point. I'm not just talking about the country in itself and the collapse that is starting to take place and has been taking place. I'm talking about, are you prepared for anything that life can face, that you can face in life? Job loss, hurricanes, earthquakes, that type of stuff. So that's what I'm talking about. And I realized when my husband has showed me some things and made a comment that I need to be better at going back. I used to go weekly to the store, and I would go and buy maybe $10 worth of canned stuff. Yes, I can our food. I can our sauce and a salsa, and applesauce. I do have all of that. But what about like just canned food too? Do you go to the store and purchase extra canned food and stick it up on your pantry shelf and just like, okay, that's for emergency, for anything? And I can tell you, so Butler, yeah, you have 2 freezers full of fruit and water, and that's great. So that's an investment, Butler Family Farm, that we need to do. We need to get a generator. That's not something that I have, and I need to, because we've lost power for up to 5 days here. And if you're on well and electric, there isn't anything coming into your home. So yeah, that is the one investment that I need to do. And I'm glad, Echo, that you and your family were prepared. But I think how many people are not prepared. And when you talk about prepared, they think that you're so far out there, right? Like, there she goes again, talking all that crazy prepared stuff, thinking the world's coming to an end. I don't think the world's coming to an end. God's not done with us yet. But I also know to be smart and prepared. And I think that was instilled in me, to be honest with you, through my grandmother. My grandmother, that there is a generation of people that sadly are no longer with us or on their way, to perish. But there was that generation of people who lived during the Great Depression and learned how to prepare things on very little and get through with very little things, right? So I can recall, like, my grandparents, I never understood it until I got older. She had the freezer, right? Stocked all the time. She went to the stores when they were having sales and she would buy the roast and the chicken and she would stock it up. Paper towels, toiletry problems. She used an extra closet and she would be stocked with all that stuff. She always kept cash at her home. She didn't have to go to the bank all the time. But remember, we didn't have banks. We have to put a card in or just slide a card. But and I never understood that. And I remember having a conversation with my grandmother and I asked her why she does what she does. And she said, well, she grew up in West Virginia, back in a holler, and they were poor. She told they were poor, and so poor that their father could not support the family after her mother passed at a young age, that her siblings got dispersed out to their family to help take care of them because dad couldn't take care of them. And she goes, Tina, I remember we had one potato in the house to feed us, and there was like 8 or 9 of them. They had one potato in the house. And so that and living through that era and going without, I believe my grandmother used that time to prep her own life, right? She lived by her example because it's what I saw, it's what my sister saw in my mom. And the biggest giving heart, she wasn't afraid to give because she had it. So, yeah. And that's another thing. So, and that's what I'm saying, just to be prepared for any circumstance that you may face in life. Life can throw curveballs, right? We've all faced them, whether it's a health issue, job loss, the loss of our spouse, whatever. Right. Well, they teach that again now in school, Alfonso. It's part of the curriculum now because kids don't know how to write a check. Trust me, I've tried to teach them, and that was very difficult. And see, so do we. So tell us treasures. She says they also have equipment in propane. And yeah, so do I. So I have the charcoal barbecue too, just, in case you need heat up water or something, right? So yeah. So I was given a gentle nudge and reminder that is something that I need to start doing again. And another reason why first of all, thank you for letting me ramble about my grandmother, because she is one of the biggest inspirations in my life on why I do some of the things that I do in my life. And so I think of her very fondly when I'm in the kitchen, or if I'm looking at her recipes, or if I'm serving and cooking, for a crowd. That's my grandmother. And my mom did the same thing. But I think in my young adult life, raising kids, my mom worked and my grandmother did not. So I spent a lot of that time with my grandmother. My sister can even testify to that. Was watching kids, and we would take grandma to the store so she could go get her sale items when they had the rump roast on sale for like $1.69 a pound. Anyhow, aside from the point of that, right. See? And that, yeah. And so, yeah, sadly, that generation may or may not understand it, because let's get real. There's a generation out there that's had everything, right? They haven't had those issues until recently, where you can't find a job and you can't, you don't have the money, everything's expensive, and they're living with mom and dad, and that's okay fine, but take those expensive coffee drinks and their food desserts away, and they won't know what to do. And I always go back to when I was running my shop. I always go back to that young girl coming into my shop telling me she didn't know how to freeze something. I'm like, what? Like, what are we teaching? I mean, I was in the educational field for over 20 years, but I'm like, what are we truly teaching our children? If you don't know how to, wrap something up and put in the freezer, those are basic life skills that our younger generation needs. And so for those families that are teaching those children those skills, especially when on a farm and living on a farm, those are such important skills to have. They may not look at it that way right now. They may look at it as chores and not necessarily wanting to do it, but it's a skill that they're going to appreciate later in life. And the lifestyle that you are providing for them, they will appreciate it later in life. And Heather says, I was a latchkey kid and learned, yeah, same here. Yeah, same here. Parents worked, right? We would come home, or we'd be at a neighbor's, or the key would be left out in a hidden place that only you and probably the whole neighborhood knew, but nobody was going to do anything. But yeah, we would come home from school. My sister can testify to this too. There were things that we had to do when we came home, whether we would start to prep dinner, whether and not necessarily like cook it on the stove. Mom didn't like that because it was gas, and so she was just wanted to make sure we were safe. But maybe it was prepping the salad for dinner. Maybe it was unloading the dishwasher or getting the laundry. There were chores that we had to do when we came home. So when mom and dad came home from work, and especially mom, then she just had to make the main dish because other things were done that she expected us to do. Chores, that word chore, right? God forbid chore. We had chores growing up. And let me tell you, we weren't allowed to go do anything until all our chores were done. And mom and dad said it was okay. Hey, Janice Marie, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. You're new to me. Have you been here before? I don't know. I'm going to write your name down though. I don't recognize your name, but that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes it just, yeah. So once again, if you guys are here, thank you so much. If you can give a thumbs up on the video, if you can share it out to your community tab, I would really appreciate that as well. So, I'm sure, Shelby, to be honest, you have more than your share of chores to do. That's all I'm going to say on that note, honey. That's my great niece I'm talking to. Anyhow, but my favorite chore of all time is actually laundry. I know, I'm weird. I love doing laundry. I don't know what it is about washing clothes, and that's just weird, right? I don't know. I just like doing it. I could do laundry all day long, 7 days a week. I don't like dusting. I can't stand dusting. And I think that stems from childhood because I had to dust the whole entire house when I was younger. That was my chore that I had to do. And that wasn't just like, I'm just going to dust. That was, you had to move everything off and dust and then put everything back. And yes, it was inspected. My mother inspected it too. I tease her about it now. She goes, I did not. I said, Mom, yes, you did. And so it's funny now as an adult to recall those things with your mom because she's like, oh, dishes. Yeah, Karen, you know what? I'm not a fan of dishes. Yes, when I was young, payphone was 10 cents and eventually did go up to I think 25 cents. I'll do it for you. I love laundry. I'm that weird of a person. Hey, Adrian, how are you? Welcome in. I don't know why, but I'll tell you what's really funny, Karen, is that we have a dishwasher here. It's a GE. It's been out for now 2 years, right? The thing was maybe 3 years old and it broke down, and the whole entire panel, like computer panel, whatever it is, needs to be replaced, which is, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not going to go replace that because why should I? There's 3 of us in the house. And so I thought, oh, you're fine, Adrian. No worries. So I do dishes. I do dishes. I do dishes. I do buy paper plates only when they're on sale. But I do dishes all the time. In what spot? Are you talking to me, Heather? I'm sorry. So during dishes is your relaxing time. See, and that's how I am with laundry. Like it doesn't, that or being on the lawnmower. Like I like going out and cutting the grass. That's relaxing to me too. Floating in the pool is relaxing to me. So yeah, but dusting, I think dusting is really the one thing it's not it's like way down here on my chore list. I don't like doing. No. You can have the chores. Thanks, Echo. I appreciate it. So yesterday, I had talked about, probably in one of my last 2 lives, that it was not too late to start your plants. If you wanted to start planting stuff, it's still, you can still do it. It's still hot enough. Adrienne over at Indiana Backyard Gardener, she also recently put out a video of this as well. And yesterday I started some broccoli, cabbage, and some lettuce and everything for the fall. And so I'm hoping that, you know, it grows. And if not, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I have resources where I can go buy it up in Pennsylvania, and I can go get, I mean, heads of broccoli for $1.50. So, but I have friends coming in on October, and so I'm hoping that I can have something growing out there, because my friend Lynn, she loves to garden as well. And so I was teasing her the other night, and I said, wow, when you're here and we're making dinner, I'll say, hey, Lynn, you want to go outside and harvest some lettuce for supper? And she's like, I'll be glad to, because she loves being out in the garden and everything. So I think chores around the house, I think as you get older, and I'm not that old, it's just, I think because you do like with your kids, you try to keep everything clean and organized and things put away. And as your kids get older and they move out, you just have a different outlook on it now. And it's like, I'll get to it later. But the house doesn't get as dirty either without little ones running around. Don't you remember, like, you would walk into the room and there's like toys all over the place, or the clothes thrown out of their dresser or the drawer, you know, but it's kids, right? And in that moment, you can become like, oh, I have to clean this all up. But at this stage of the life, you go, wow, that went by fast, and you kind of miss it. And that lasts for a few seconds, right? And then it's gone. Oh, awesome. Adrienne, I've never had the Kajari melon and squash. I've heard of them, but I've never had them. And she was doing the paper towel method, and they have officially germinated now. Adrienne, is that correct? That's awesome. So I'm trying some new things for the fall to see, you know, how well of a germination rate I get. And I don't know, because the seeds are a little older, and like Adrienne, I probably could have done paper towel method, but I put them in some really good. Awesome. That's awesome. She said it took 3 days. So Adrienne, what's the, can you, so Adrienne has a really great video on this, and I love how she talked about it. I want to, if somebody can find that video, Adrienne, I don't know if you can go and grab the link to that video where you talked about the seeds in the packet and the germination and all that to full harvest. If you could post that in the link, that'd be great. You should go watch this video, because she makes some really great valid points during her video about from the germination date to this. And just remember, guys, it's still summer and the soils are really hot. So things are going to germinate faster. So she makes some really good points. So if somebody can go find that, I'd appreciate that. I just read my phone. Gotcha. Got ya. Thank you for telling me. Do you need me? 1 second, please. All right, sorry about that. It's funny how you can lose an adult in the house, right? We go around looking. So yeah. Did anybody get that from Adrienne? Adrienne, I'll try and find this here for you. Hang on a second.
Did anybody get
Whoops. Adrian, where are you? I could have sworn that you were. There you go, Adrian. I just made you a moderator. So if you want to go and grab it. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Susan. I appreciate it. So yeah, anyhow, I'm laughing over the text message I got. That was funny. So anyhow, so I kind of got off topic. Yeah, no, thank you, Adrian. I appreciate it. Yeah, so 3 days. So I'm thinking, so where I have the things that I started, they're in my sunroom. My sunroom gets so warm and it's right there in the sun. I'm looking for a really good germination, even if the seeds are old because it's warm. But yesterday I went to and got I think it's Fox. Is it Fox? Fox, what is that called? Fox, it's the Fox Meadow. It's the soil. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. Yeah. So what I did is this one I got, it has like fish in it. It has just a lot of great components in it. So I thought I'm going to start my seeds in this and see this past year, as I've expressed a couple of times before, Fox Farm, thank you. I called it Fox Meadow. I don't know why. The stuff that I used this year, it didn't work for me. It just didn't work for me. So I'm going to try this and see. And if I like it, I'm going to buy more. I'm hoping some of this stuff, guys, starts going on clearance because it's the end of summer and maybe some of the soil and stuff that I can, throw it in my beds and stuff for the fall. Hopefully it will go on clearance. I know in some areas it does, in other areas it doesn't. So thank you so much for sharing the link. I really appreciate it. Guys, you can go check out Adrian. That's the video I was referring to. She has a lot of great information. She has a lot of knowledge too. I've learned from her, and she just explained it just so simple why she does what she does, and read the back of the seeds and just kind of explained some things to help maybe you understand. So I know I was at Dollar Tree today, and I went and surprised my son. We got him some balloons, and I put him in his. He lives with us, which is fine. But I put him in his room when he was on break from work, and I tied him to his chair. And so when he came back, he saw his balloons, and I made him his birthday breakfast. We had his request was biscuit and gravies with sausage, and he wanted eggs and he wanted bacon. So he got all that. He and his sister and brother-in-law, they're going out to a movie tonight. And so, yeah, that's it. So Dollar Tree, they had their fall stuff in. They had some really pretty flowers, like, and everything so fresh. And I'm like, oh. And has anybody seen that? I know my sister has because I sent it to her, but where they take the noodle and they tie the noodle up and they make the centerpiece out of it for fall. I so want to try that. So I need to go get new flowers, I think, or just recycle the ones I have here and save money. So yeah, I know. So anyhow, if you want any new fall stuff, Dollar Tree has it in. They have their back to school stuff. So that's another thing I wanted to talk about. I didn't get to it last week. So back to school is starting. I know there are some areas where some schools have started already. I feel this is just a little too early, but this is so I'm talking if you have grandchildren, if you have kids, whatever the case is, this is the best time of the year to go buy new pens and pencils, office supplies. All this stuff is on sale. And this is a great time to go stock up because you just never know. Maybe you're not going to use it. Maybe you can donate it to a local church or to the school. Maybe you can. I know the school has, they help provide school supplies for children in need. At least when I worked there, we did, just to help lighten the burden. There's ministries out there. It's like you fill the backpack, get the kids started. So this is a really great time to go and purchase a lot of this stuff, and to hold it onto it, or donate it, or whatever you need to do, or just for yourself. I went and got highlighters, guys. I'm so excited. This is just, yes, Sharpie highlighter. I do have a weakness when it comes to back to school stuff. I love all the notebooks and the pens, and I'm that person, and I will go buy some stuff, and I do have some stuff. So not just that, but if you have grandchildren again, or know of somebody in need that needs clothes, this is a really great time too to go stock up on summer clothes for next year. Go and buy like a next size up or something for next year, for summer, for the kids. And then you have those put away, for gifts or something, or birthdays. So that's a helpful too. So, that's a really great price. See, 35 cents. That's awesome. You've been able to help high school kids with their supplies? Awesome. You go back to work next week, Adrian, because you work for the schools, right? That's awesome. So tomorrow is my last day of work, and I'm very happy about it. I'm looking forward to, I'm just looking forward to not having the stress in my life. So another good thing to stock up on right now too is toiletry items. Tissues are on sale because people, school, right? Deodorant's on sale. Toothpaste is on sale. Toothbrushes is on sale. Mouthwash is on sale. Razors are on sale. Storage and organization containers. Think of it if you're sending somebody back to the school, college. But a great time to stock up on some of those things that maybe you need to organize. So lots of fun stuff out there. So it's a really great time of the year to stock up on a lot of different things. So let me see if I've missed anybody coming in. No. So one of the things we were talking about earlier was, I'm not sure when tax-free weekend is. I part of me wants to say it's this weekend. Oh, Adrian, I wish you a great school year. I truly do. Hey, Tuck by V. Good to see you. Nice. Dry erase boards, calendars, planners. Yeah, it's all there, guys. It's all there. That's what I love about back to school. So things are so seasonal when they go on sale. And that's the time to me, you just got to try and, stock up as much as possible if you're able to. That doesn't mean go break yourself. It just means, are you able to go buy maybe, $20 worth of stuff, $10 worth of stuff, and put it aside. You never know who you can bless with it, or so, yeah. I have a place down here not far from me where I'm at, and they're a great ministry. They take boxes of food to people. They minister to people. They help with home, housing. They do, clothing drives. They actually have a thrift store too. So if you need, like, say women, single moms, right? Or that got out of a bad marriage, maybe they were abusive or something, but it's a nice place to go to if you need like office work, clothes or something like that. And, moms are going back to work and they just don't have those clothes. So they offer that too. So that's a really great thing. So anyhow, so I have I don't have shout outs today, and I'm really sorry about that. I just didn't get any today. I gave shout outs last week to Will's wheelchair girl. You might want to check her out. She is has a lot of autoimmune or disorder. She's in a wheelchair, and she's a new channel, and she just takes you around with her. One of her new videos out is that she was going to be taking the bus and was hoping and how she was going to be getting on the bus. Hopefully she didn't have any problems. So there was that channel I gave a shout out to. And yeah, I don't have any other channels to give a shout out today. So other than that, I have been, everybody knows, I have baby chicks and I've been tending to them. They are growing up so fast. I believe out of the 4, I can almost guarantee you I have 1 rooster and 3 girls. I want to say all 4 are girls, but the one just kind of stands up a little taller, longer in the neck. It just reminds me of a rooster. So that's why I'm thinking that. I know it's hard to sex them, but I use this method that I was taught years ago, where if you look at the wing of a chicken, they have to have like 2 rows of wings. And if they have 2 rows of wings, then they would be a female. And that has worked well for me. So I got a hold of them, last week it was, and put them in their container so I could look at them and let mama out for a little bit and just kind of run around in the coop area. Because the mom doesn't want to come out of the coop. And so if I take the babies, the mom's going to come out looking for them. Anyhow, I checked them, and the majority of them had the 2 wings. They're girls, but they're doing well. They're thriving there. The little ones are ready to come out. Mama's not. I do have some fencing that I need to put up. We had chicken wire on there, right? But last week, they're now 2 weeks old. They got through the chicken wire. The one did, and got on the back side of the coop that they're not allowed to go onto, because I don't want them back there. And so I went out over the weekend and got some new fencing that has smaller holes. And I was out there, temporarily just like zip tying this up. And I was just cutting my hands up left and right. And I'm like, okay, I need some extra hands out here. I can't do this. And then it occurred to me that I was doing it the most difficult way. And I should have been on the outside of the coop doing this rather than in the inside. And so I'm going to go back out and work on that. Not today, but I do have to go back out after this. I go out there every 2 hours. I check on them. I make sure they have fresh water, that they have food, and they're just so cute. They're just so cute, you guys. They're just, I just love them. But the best news is so you haven't seen my area. So my husband built me, I don't know how many square feet, 800 square feet. I don't know. He calls it the chicken fortress. So when we first got chickens, he built me this. And mind you, I only started off with 12 chickens. Well, 12 multiplied quickly into like 40. And we ended up adding on to the front side of the area he built me. And I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with the story? Oh, that's what he was saying. So I had nothing but red sex links. That's what I started with. They're great egg layers. I love them. And then I always wanted the top hats, right? So one year Tractor Supply had them, and my husband said I could get 3. He limited me to 3. Well, I came home with 6, and 2 of them ended up being roosters. And when I integrated them with the red sex links, they killed my rooster, the one rooster I wanted, and they killed one of my other top hats. That left me with 1 rooster and who was a top hat, and Sassy. I call her Sassy. She's my top hat, and the other 2 were Americanas. So I had to not integrate them. I knew they weren't going to do well together. And out of all the research I did, I found that top hats don't do well with red sex links. They just maybe race together, be different, but not to integrate. And I'm like, well, I wish I would have known that because there was nothing. And there was nothing. Hey, Jennifer Ocean Homestead, welcome in. There was nothing that I had found in my research that talked to me about that. So, anyhow, my point to the story is that the back side of the coop that's all fenced off and has a gate is not being used at this particular moment. And my husband has given me permission that I can buy as many as I want of the red links because he misses the eggs. He's like, they laid really good eggs. And they did. They're really great eggs. So I can't find any right now. But Tractor Supply had Rhode Island Reds, which are really good. But I said, I'm not going to bring those chicks home because I don't know if the mama would accept them or not. So I'm just not going to do it. So every year, Southern States always sells pullets. So I'm thinking this year, I gotta clean up that back area. I gotta secure it because we had a fox attack, and I just need to secure it better. Make sure nothing can get in there. I know nothing's foolproof, but it has to pass my inspection. And then I need to sturdy up. One coop is no good in there. I need to tear that down. But the other one, I think I can get away with still using it. I just need to secure it a little bit better and put them in there. And I think because they're going to be pullets and they're going to be younger, I may integrate them with the current ones that I have out there with the rooster because my rooster needs more girls. He's wearing out the girls right now that he has, and it's not fair to them. So he's going to need to go into a little timeout is what he's going to need to do. My poor girls out there. And my little Sassy, she's funny because he goes after her all the time. She's so tiny and quick. It's funny to see. I'm going to have to videotape it. So that's my goal. I've had this Diet Coke for a couple of hours. So that's my goal for next year. And Tractor Supply even had Cornish cross chickens, which are your birds for butchering, right? And I was showing my husband them. And here's the thing is I'm at this level and my husband's down here. So I'm trying to get him to this level to have him, just kind of get on the same page because I don't want to do anything that he's not really, into. I'm not going to ask him to go out there and like harvest the chickens. I'll be honest with you guys. I've never done it myself, so I'd probably source that out. I don't know if I could, but I want to learn and I'd like to try. I'm just not sure if I have the stomach for it. But I think where we're at right now, and I know Susan, if Susan's still out there, guys, and I think she mentioned this just the other day, Susan, maybe it was in your videos when you were prepping food. I don't know. Haven't you noticed, guys, all these recalls on food is absurd. It's almost the point where you go into the store, it's like you question whether or not you should even buy this because you don't know. That's why it's one of the things about being able to raise your own meat or can your own food if you're able to, or buy from local farms if you're able to. It's just really important because what they're doing to our food in our stores and around the world is it's just not healthy for us at all. And I don't know if there was really ever a time if it was, you know what I mean? Like I can't imagine all this just all of a sudden just started in our food chain. I think it has progressively got worse. I think it's always been there, in my opinion. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys knew this. And, I don't know if anybody saw, did you see, and I haven't done any more research on it, but it's something I did read, but not thoroughly. So in the state of Colorado, I don't know if anybody saw this. They are trying to put on the ballot to close down a meat processing plant that has been in business for over 70 years because, you know, yeah, yeah, and I was like, "What?" And I just sit there and go, if we don't have a meat processing plant, then there's not going to be that protein, and our bodies need the protein, regardless of regardless of what people say. Our bodies are built, designed to have protein and the vegetables that we need. My sister and I have a friend, a childhood friend, who became a vegetarian, and that's great. But this was years ago. The doctor told her that she needed to start eating meat in her diet, whether it's fish or chicken. She needed to start getting more protein because she wasn't healthy, because she wasn't getting the protein that the body needs. Now, I'm not saying that being a vegetarian is bad. I'm just saying there has to be a healthy balance somewhere in between, right? One of the reasons why, yes, I still eat meat, but I have changed the meat that I eat. I do more ground turkey now, but I still do beef and I still do pork and I'll still do chicken. That's not going to change for me. That's the meat that we like. My son's dog's here again. But yeah, Karen, and let me tell you something. And here's something else. So I know somebody else during the pandemic who went and bought a bunch of like plant-based foods and, are and truly believe like this was good and that they were getting, eating healthy and everything. Well, guess what happened? Guess what happened? This person, who I'm not going to name, ended up having their cholesterol was skyrocketed. And it's not good. It's not. The plant-based stuff isn't. It's so processed. If it was like, you can do a better plant-based, and I don't want to step on toes here, but if you ever just go in and read a label in any of the food, whether it's plant-based, gluten-free, anything like that, and go into your freezer department and go look at the ingredients on, like, say, a regular pizza, a plant-based pizza, and a gluten-free pizza, and look at all the ingredients listed. Well, it's still processed food, regardless of whether it is full of meat or if it's plant-based. It's still highly processed food and stuff that you don't want in your food to feed your body, right? It's not as healthy as they claim it to be. And I say that just because I've looked. I wanted, like, hey, what's in here? I'm curious to know. Like, at the farmer's market, I had a lovely girl that sits next to me. She does a lot of the vegan and gluten-free desserts. And she had given me a sample of like a cinnamon roll. There was something she gave me a sample of. And I said to her, I said, hey, what do you make your whipped cream topping with? And she told me, oh, help me out here. The juice of a bean. It's the white bean, like oh my gosh. Is it cannelli? Is it a cannelli bean? Chickpea? It's like a chickpea, like the chickpea in the can. It's the juice of that you use to make the topping. So, and it's very good. Like, I really enjoyed that. It was very tasty. It tasted just like whipped cream. And I'm like, this is amazing. You can go Google chickpea frosting and go make it. It's good. I'm telling you, it's good. You wouldn't even know it's chickpea. But the like the cinnamon roller, the cupcake, when I looked at all the ingredients, I was like, what is all this stuff? So I'm just sitting here going, there's certain things I'll eat and there's certain things I won't eat. Hey, welcome in, Shannon, my little homestead. Thanks for joining me. Guys, I'm just going to say one more time, if you could just give me a thumbs up and share out on your community tab, that would be great. Oh my gosh, I've almost been on here an hour. I get tired of hearing myself talk, though. Yeah, Tella's Treasure says, if you're referring to the plant-based stuff, it's loaded with sodium. And guys, even So even when I was battling Lyme disease and my doctor told me I needed to come off dairy, gluten, and sugar, um, I was on this elimination diet and it was very hard. Trust me, it was really difficult. And she says there's a lot of gluten free in your freezer department, but she told me she goes, don't, just because it's gluten free. She goes, don't be fooled by that. She goes, it is highly processed and look at the stuff. And I was like, and I did. And I was like, oh my gosh. Every once in a while, like I would go in and get like a gluten free, like one of those, like to take to work, like a frozen burrito or something like that. Because at that time, I just gluten free. How long ago was that? 2009 or 10. I don't know what year it was that I got diagnosed with Lyme, but it was gluten free was around, but it wasn't as popular, I should say, out like it is today. But it was interesting, and I understood why she said that, and it's like now, like okay. But I'm sad. I mean, I do eat gluten, and I should not be. I do limit myself to how much I can eat of it. Sourdough is the best for me, and I do have sensitivity, and it causes great inflammation on me. Whether that is the gluten or it's the spray, is it Mylan something? Yeah, I don't know. So anyhow, that's just. But I always say, do what works best for you and your family. Um, right. Oh, thanks for reminding me because you said that. When you said curated, yeah. I mean, and that's okay. I can do and eat a lot of different things, and that's fine. But if you guys don't know Ruth Ann Zimmerman with Homesteading with the Zimmermans, I follow her not just here but also on IG. Hey, wheelchair girl. I just told everybody about your channel and going on the bus and all that. Um, she is doing an inspiration open collaboration hashtag meant to ferment. So if you guys want to meant to ferment, if you've been wanting to ferment something, this is a great time to learn because she's learning too, and so we're all doing it together. And I actually got gifted yesterday. As some of my former customers, when I had my shop, called me up and they said, hey, we have a bumper crop of cucumbers. Would you be interested? And I'm like, yeah, because it's August and I have one cucumber, my very first cucumber hanging out there to be picked. And I'm like, I should pick it before something comes and eats it. It's like my third plant or fourth plant of my cucumber plant that I had to plant because it just didn't. And the one next to it is still stunted. But anyhow, so I have a whole bag. I'm going to do a video on that. That's my other Every Bit Counts challenge. I think I'm going to ferment the pickles and get them in the refrigerator and keep them that way. I think it'll be great. So yeah, let me see who came in. Oh, hey, Simply Jan Homestead. Hey, I just want to ask y'all, you should be, so I did a spontaneous giveaway on my channel. And Jan won one, P and J won, and I've mailed those out. Susan, I've mailed your stuff to you. And is it Luann? Gosh, yeah. Can you guys just let me know like when you get it? Because when I took it to the post office and the address that I put in, the postmaster, Rakesh, I know him, he goes, Miss, this is not coming up. I'm like, so I went in and I checked. I'm like, no, that's the address. I wrote it there. And I'm like, maybe because it's just so rural that, it's not, I don't know. But anyhow, but those packages should be arriving any day now. I promise you that. That's what my point is, Jennifer, to be honest. It's not as healthy. It's still highly processed food. So if you go in, Aldi actually pulled the majority of their plant-based food out of their store. They don't carry it as much as they used to. It was very big in their store, and I remember going in. Why are they why are they selling all this? They've pulled other things away that I wanted, But I noticed that like it's still, if you buying it, it's in the freezer section. It's still processed food, even though it could be plant-based, it's still very highly processed. But everybody has to do, oh, you're fine, Adrian. You work in that garden. Everybody has to do what works best for them. I just like to eat meat. It's that simple. I do have my days though where I don't want to eat any meat. Like I'm so tired of this or I'm so tired of that just I prefer not to eat meat. So I won't. That doesn't happen that often, but when it does, I just pass on by, right? So, uh-oh. Did you have squash bugs? Does that mean that you got rid of your zucchini plant? So what is aquafaba? What is that, Jennifer? Here's one of the things, Adrian, I don't know where this was that I had heard. Maybe it was from Gary. But he was talking about like a lot of the pests come around like at the beginning when it starts getting warm and everything. And if you can plant like your zucchini plants out later in the summer, you have somebody was saying this, a lower chance of developing squash bugs and stuff because that time kind of has passed where they just all come out. You know what I mean? So right now, like literally my squash plants, I did 3 plantings of them. I've planted, I don't know how many seeds. And this last planting, I planted 6 seeds, 2 germinated, 2. And both of them have some squash growing finally. One didn't get pollinated, so I pulled that one off. But I'm checking for like squash bugs and eggs underneath the leaves and everything like that. And so far, so good. So I'm hoping it stays that way. I don't do cereal. Cereal is so yes, it is, but I can't do cereal. It bothers me. So not no more. Nope. No cereal in this house. I do oatmeal. I do gluten-free oatmeal with a little organic maple syrup and some brown sugar in it, and it works great. Oh, I hope you can save it. You know what? Let it be. I'm going to tell you I just did an update video for Gale Garden Tour Club, and my kale's coming back. They all ate down the beans, like the green beans, the pinto beans, and kidney beans that I planted. They're all coming back. I see little flowers. The leaves are growing back. So I'm letting everything be. I think if I ignore my garden, it does better than me going out there every single day, right? But I know. Cereal is good, but I'm gonna tell you, it's not as healthy for you as you think it is. And for somebody like me, it does bother me, and sadly, I can't eat cereal anymore. If I could, I'd be eating some Lucky Charms or Golden Grams. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So yeah, it's one of those things where I know, Adrian, I just wish tomatoes would come a lot faster than they do. And I'm going to tell you, I think I'm going to start my tomatoes a lot earlier this year, and I'm going to keep the heater on in my sunroom so that way it stays warm so things germinate better for me, and see if that helps any of those pepper plants, tomato plants, or anything. But I also bought some stuff too, because when I would go up into Lancaster and we'd go to the Amish market up there, guys, they were $1.25. So yeah, I didn't mind paying $1.25. I won't pay $6 for a plant at the nursery. That's just absurd, and I just won't do that. Homemade granola, I have Rice Krispies because it is gluten-free. That does not bother me. But I can do, I do have a recipe that I'm going to put together. I have everything here, shredded coconut. I have the the chocolate chips, everything. I've been getting tomatoes all summer and spring on my house tomato plant. That's awesome, Heather. You want to share with us what that is? And that'd be great. I'd like to know what kind of tomato plant, where'd you get it at? If you maybe you could share that information, I'd love that, Heather. Thank you so much. So yeah, but I don't know. I love gardening. I love being out there and I get so excited for it. Yes, Jan won. Not only did Jan win once, Jan won twice. I donated something, I think, for Gail's channel. Was it the 500 subs? And then on my channel, she won. Yeah, and on my channel, she won as well. So, yeah. Me, I win nothing. Not anymore. I used to win all the time. And I'm just waiting to be told that I won one of those Harvest Right freeze dryers. That's all I want to win. I don't think that's too much to ask for, right? Heather, are you still getting yours, or are you guys waiting on that one? Yeah. Yeah. I'll be honest, when you can go and get pepper plants and tomato plants for $1.25, after your time, the amount of money you spend on soil and leaves and everything, it's just not really, $1.25 compared to that. Okay, what does Jennifer say? Oreos are naturally vegan. They're also bioengineered, says right on. Yeah, and you see that more and more on the packaging, right? That like everything you see now is some ingredient is bioengineered in that product that you're purchasing. Yep. And I won't buy it. I just I can't, because you don't know what it is. I had Sweet 100, but they aren't doing good. Are we talking about tomatoes? Oh, good. I'm glad. The chickpea water? Are you saying that was bioengineered? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. So yeah. So anyhow, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm hoping I get my pumpkins. Oh my gosh, I bought these pumpkins at the nursery. They were literally dying, and I said, well, they should have gave me a discount for the plants. But I bought 2 plants, and I said, let me bring them in and see what they're doing. One, to be honest, one reminds me of a watermelon leaf, and maybe it's mismarked. Maybe it is a watermelon, but it looks like a watermelon leaf, not a pumpkin leaf. But they are doing so well. And I'm really happy, and I will be very excited if I get pumpkins this year when my friend Lynn is here, because I'll let her go harvest them, because I know she'll want to be able to do that. We talked about that already. Hey, Butler Family Farm, thank you so much. I'm so glad that I'm getting to know you more, and thanks for being part of watching my videos. I truly appreciate that. I will. I'll be sending out emails on Monday. So thank you. Be blessed. You have a good night. So yeah, I probably should get going. I've been on here a little over an hour, but I'm really happy. Adrian, you've inspired me. I want to redo my garden. I set it up this year. I love my grow bags, but I think I'm going to eliminate a lot of my grow bags this year and use that soil and put them in the raised beds, because my goal, I want to have the raised beds along, but I also want to get some of the cattle panel to do the arches so I can grow more vertical stuff up in it. Hopefully that'll keep some of those pesky things, varmints, away from my garden. I don't know. See, in your area, that's awesome. That's a really great price. Look at that. If I go up into Lancaster, into the Amish country up in Pennsylvania, I can get like the same thing. But we also have auctions. We can go, like in the beginning of the season, there's auctions that you can go to where it's normally flowers, and then eventually the plants for seed starts, they're very minimum price. And I haven't been able to go to an auction in a long time. Perhaps this next growing season, maybe the fall, maybe I can go during the fall to one of these auctions and see what they have. You can get mums, you can get pumpkins. There's just a lot of great things. So yeah. Next week I'll be up in PA. I have to go up and get some stuff for a customer and then for myself too. And I'll be picking up some corn. My one friend, he does corn, all organically grown corn and stuff. So it's really good. So yeah. So everybody, hey, Talk by V, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to call it a night, everybody. It is going on 4 o'clock. My daughter is texting me the cute puppy dogs that are up for adoption out here. Oh my gosh. Anybody want a puppy dog? Look at them. Oh, they're so cute. I would go adopt, but I have enough animals. I'm going to tell her she should go get one. And then I'll watch it when they go away. Right? Thanks, Shelby, for being here. I appreciate it. So good to hang out with you. We'll have to try and get Nana to come back up in here. I know, right? So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Be blessed, everybody. Thank you again for your continued support on the channel and watching the videos and stuff. It means a lot. I'll be putting out some new content tomorrow, and I'm doing another collab. It's about dishes around the world. I'm not sure why I joined that one, but I may change my mind on what country I'm doing. I guess it has to come from the letters of your channel. And yeah, I'm not sure. So anyhow, be blessed. We'll see you on the next live, friends. Take care. Bye.